Welcome sa klase ni Sir Rojan. Tara, magsagot tayo ng mga problems. Let's go! So today, sa video natin, magsasagot tayo ng ilang mga problem-solving questions. So, kaugnay pa rin ito dun sa topic natin last video tungkol sa splitting the mixed cost. So, meron tayong mga inihandang mga ilang questions na sasagutan para may apply natin yung concepts tungkol sa splitting the mixed cost. Okay? Start tayo. Okay, first problem. Buddy Ayala uses the high-low method of estimating costs. Buddy had total costs of 50,000 pesos at its lowest level of activity when 50,000 units are sold. When at its highest level of activity, sales equaled 12,000 units. Total costs were 78,000. Bud would estimate variable cost per unit as, number two, Bud would estimate the fixed cost to be. So, ang ating method daw na gagawin is high-low method. So, sa high-low method, ang tinitingnan natin is yung highest activity versus lowest activity. And then, kung ano man yung highest activity and lowest activity, kukunin natin yung cost niya, then we get the difference. So, the cost of the highest minus the cost of the lowest divided by the activity, highest activity minus the lowest activity. So in this case, binigay na mismo yung activities eh. Kaya it's a matter of substituting na lang the given. So ang lowest activity daw is 50,000. 50,000 pesos. Yan. That is the 5,000 units. So you have highest activity of 12,000 units with the total cost of 78,000. So therefore, 78 minus 50 is 28,000 divided by 7,000. Your answer is 28 divided 7 is 4,000. 4. I think 4. Yan. Yan. So 4, ang ating interpretation dyan is 4 pesos per unit. And what do we call this? This is your variable cost per unit. So, ang sagot natin sa number 1 is 4 pesos per unit. Okay? Now, what would estimate the fixed cost to be? Ngayon, para ma-compute natin yung fixed cost, pipili ka sa highest or lowest activity para ma-substitute mo yung variable cost per unit in order for you to get the fixed cost. So, gagamit tayo dito ng Yabix. Y equals A plus BX. Ang Y mo dito refers to the total cost. So, pili ka between highest and lowest. In this case, piliin ko lang yung lowest. 50,000, that's the total cost, equals A, which represents your fixed cost, plus B, which is your 4. Yan yung ating variable cost per unit, multiplied by X, the lowest activity, kasi lowest cost yung kinuha natin, that's 5,000. Okay, so you have 50,000 equals A plus 20,000. So therefore, A is equal to 30,000. Okay? So to check kung tama yung sagot natin sa... Ay, nawala yung ating ano. To check whether tama yung ating 30,000, 30,000 yung sagot natin, no? Ayan. Ngayon, ang gagawin natin, let's try to use these two and check whether tama yung ating sagot. So you have your Yabix again, 70 using the highest naman. 78,000 equals 30,000 pesos. So that's your fixed cost plus variable cost per unit of 4 multiplied by 12,000. So therefore, sagot natin dyan, 78,000 is equal to 30,000 plus 48,000. So parehas namang 78,000 ang lumabas. So therefore, tama yung sagot natin na 30,000 and 4 pesos yung ating fixed cost and variable cost per unit respectively. So that's how you apply high-low method. Okay? So hopefully nasundan natin kung paano siya gamitin. So madali lang naman siya kasi binigay na mismo yung lowest tsaka highest activity. Hindi mo nahanapin sa set of data natin. Okay? So good job ka dyan kung nasagutan mo. Sige, let's continue. Problem number 2. Yan. So for problem number 2, ito hindi na binigay yung highest tsaka lowest. Meron na tayo ditong set of data. Yan. So, since wala naman tayo ibang information available here, So let's assume that these are within, assuming all of this data is within, assuming within relevant range. Kasi pag hindi nakasama sa relevant range, hindi mo siya pwedeng isama sa analysis mo. Mapa-high-low method yan, least square regression pa yan. So assuming lahat ng data na yan is still within relevant range, ang highest natin, titingin kayo, not on the total cost, but on the level of activity. So ang highest mo, yung X mo, ito yung Y. The highest activity is this one, the lowest activity is this one. So ngayon, ulitin lang natin yung high-low method natin. Ang cost ng highest activity is 86,000. So 86,000 minus the cost of the lowest activity, 52,000, divided by 16,000, level of activity minus 8,000. Okay? So 86,000 minus 52,000, the answer is 34,000. Okay? Divided by 16,500 minus 8 is 8,500. So your variable cost per unit is 34,000 divided 8,500. That is 4 o 4 pa din. Okay? Yan. So ang hinahanap sa atin, ito yung fixed variable cost per unit, di ba? Ang hinahanap sa atin is fixed cost. So gamit tayo again ng Yabix. Y equals A plus BX. Pili tayo ng dalawa, pwedeng highest or pwedeng lowest. Piliin ko is lowest. 52,000. The cost of the lowest is equal to A. That's the fixed cost that we're looking for. B is 4 pesos. X is the lowest activity kasi lowest cost ang kinuha ko. That's 8. So therefore, 52,000 equals A plus 32,000. Therefore, A is equal to 20,000. Okay? 20,000. So 52 minus 32 is 20,000. So again, just to be sure, check lang ulit natin, no? Gamitin ko naman ay yung highest. Meron kang 86,000 equals 20,000. So ito na na-compute mong total fixed cost. Plus 4 times the highest activity, 16,500. So 86,000 equals 20,000 plus. So 16,500 times 4 is 66,000. So therefore, 86,000 equals 86,000. So tama yung sagot natin na 20,000 yung ating fixed cost and 4 pesos yung kanyang variable cost per unit. Okay. So far, so good. Nakadalawang problem ka. Nag-gets mo na yung high-low method natin. Now, what else? Baka meron pa tayong iba pang problem dito. Yan. Okay, so ito medyo may ibang information na. Sige. Okay, problem 3 naman tayo. So meron tayo ditong two questions, no? First is determine the equation to predict total cost for the delivery truck. So ang hinahanap dito is yung equation or yung cost function, yung cost formula. So gagawa tayo ng Yabix, pero may fixed cost tsaka may variable cost per unit. Yung number 2, after getting the equation to predict, gagamitin natin yun para makompute yung total cost if yung ating kilometers driven is 12,187. Okay? So we have two questions here. So again, using the high-low method pa rin naman tayo. Get the highest activity. We have 10,000. Is your highest activity. The cost of it is 15,000. Next, we have your lowest activity. You have 7,500. Ang total cost niya is 13,000. Okay? So you have 2,000 minus, 15,000 minus 13,000 is 2,000. Divided by 10,000 minus 7,500. That is 10,000 minus 7,500. That's 2,500. Okay? So 2,000 divided 2,500, you have 0.8. So you have 0.8 per kilometer. So variable cost per unit yan. That is your B do sa Yabix. Okay? So now that we got B, pwede na natin computein yung ating total fixed cost. So again, pili lang tayo ng highest or lowest. Gamitin ko yung lowest. So 13,000, again yung Yabix. 13,000 equals, ito yung hinahanap natin, yung A, so unknown pa yan. Na-compute na natin yung B, that's 0.8 times X mo, which is yung lowest activity kasi lowest ko sa kinuha ko, 7.5. So you have 13,000 equals A plus 0.8 times 7.5, 6,000. Okay? So you have 13,000 minus 6,000, A is equal to 7,000. So yun ngayon yung ating total fixed cost. So therefore, nabuo na natin yung cost formula. Y is equal to 7,000, which is your total fixed cost, plus 0.8x. So ito yung cost formula natin. So ito yung sagot natin. Y is equal to 7,000 plus 0.8x. Ipon ko lang to. Ayan. Next, so now that we got the equation, we can now predict the total cost for number 2. So, substitute lang natin. Y is equal to 7,000 plus 0.8 multiplied by 12,187. So, Y is equal to, so you have 0.8 times 12,187 plus 7,000. So, the answer is 16,749.60 or kahit 750. Okay? So, that's your answer for number 2. 16,750 rounded off. Okay? So, medyo nasasanay tayo no, sa high-low method natin. Practice lang ng practice. Let's go to problem number 4. Yan. So, problem number 4. Again, using high-low method of analysis, estimate the variable electrical cost per machine hour. Ito yung ating variable cost per unit. That is your B. Okay, so again, assuming all of this data are part or within the relevant range, wala tayong outlier. Okay, so wala tayong outside, assuming lahat ay inside or within. Pili tayo ng highest. So highest natin is 6,000. Your lowest is 3,600. So use the high-low method. The cost of highest is 4,460. Okay, minus the cost of the lowest, 2,900, divided by the highest activity of 6,000, okay, minus the lowest activity of 3,600. So 4,460 minus 2,91560 pesos. Divided by 6,000 minus 36, 2,400. So therefore, 1,560 divide 24, you have 0.65. So ito yung sagot natin. Yet that's the answer for this problem. 0.65. Okay? Tuloy natin. Gusto natin computein yung fixed cost. So again, using your Yabix, y equals a plus bx. Gamitin natin for example yung lowest. The lowest activity is 36. So you have the cost of it is 2,900 equals a plus 0.65 times x of 3,600. So therefore, 2,900 equals a plus 0.65 times 36, 2,340. So minus 29. So yung total cost mo is 500. Fixed cost, 560. Ayan. So ito yung total fixed cost mo. So to be sure, substitute natin yung fixed cost at yung variable cost per unit using our high-low, or using our highest activity naman. So you have 4,460 equals 560 plus 0.65 multiplied by 6,000. Ito yung highest activity natin. So 4,460 equals 560 plus 0.65 times 6,000, 3,900. So therefore, 4,460 is also the same with the other side, 4,460. So tama yung sagot natin for total fixed cost. So kung gagawa ka ng cost formula, your cost formula will now become y equals 560 plus 0.65x. Ito yung activity, ito yung total cost. Ito yung cost formula mo. Pwede mo na siyang gamitin for prediction. Alright. Um, 4 problems down. Many to go. Sagot lang tayo ng sagot hanggang mahumay kayo dyan. Ayan. Problem number 5. Ito, medyo kakaiba to. Ayan. For problem number 5, still we're using the high-low method, sabi dito. The Lucena Memorial Hospital asks you to come up with the cost formula using high-low method. They provided you with data about number of patients and cost of admission department for each month as follows. So for January hanggang December, meron tayong baliktad to. Ayan. Baliktad rin natin. This is the number of patients and this is the cost. Kasi yun naman may peso sa inyo. Okay? So baliktad siya. So from January to December, meron tayong number of patients, 18, 15, 16, 17, 20, 16, 17, 19, 19, 16, 18, 98. And then for the cost of admission per month, yan, nandiyan na rin yan. What else? Given information. The month of December is the month where the national government declared that COVID-19 entered the country that resulted to high number of patients and costs. So itong December daw, ito yung nagkaroon ng COVID. Ayan. Determine the number 1, variable cost per unit, total annual fixed costs, and month cost formula, then estimated cost of 13 patients to be admitted next month. Ayan. So high-low method pa rin naman tayo. Procedure is the same. It's just that you have to identify very carefully which is the highest activity. Kung mapapansin natin, itong una natin titingnan, 98 ka agad eh. That's the highest. The lowest is 15. Ayan. 15. Ngayon, sobrang laki naman ng highest. Pag ganyan na nangyari, at siya naman ay isolated case, hindi siya part ng relevant range, you will ignore. You don't make pansin the month of December because that is the month na nagkaroon ng COVID which is not a pattern, not within the relevant range. So therefore, ignore mo siya. Dito ka lang titingin from January to November. So therefore, ang highest mo is yung 20. Okay? So therefore, highest activity mo is 20 with the cost of, I think 16,000 ba to? Yeah, 16,000. 16,000 minus the lowest activity of 14,100. That's 20 minus 15. So therefore, you have 16,000 minus 14,100. That's 1,900 divided by 5, which is equal to 380. So the variable cost per unit or the cost per patient is 380. Yan. So that's your answer for number 1. Again careful lang kasi nga hindi natin siya papansinin dahil hindi siya within the relevant range. Ang relevant range kasi ito yung range kung saan based on observations, ito yung nagiging pattern. Okay? Masyadong malayo ng 98. Variable cost per unit is 380. Alright. Number 2, total annual fixed cost. So dahil meron na tayong variable cost per unit, we can now compute for the total fixed cost for the month. Kasi ang ginamit natin ditong value is monthly. So hindi siya yung annual. Kaya naman pili lang ulit tayo using area bix, y is equal to a plus bx. Okay? So y, gamitin ko yung lowest natin. Y is equal to 14,100 equals a plus 380 times 15. Yan. So 14,100 equals a plus, so 380 times 15, 5,700. So a is equal to minus 14,100, 8,400. So ito na yung monthly. Bakit monthly siya, sir? Kasi yung ginamit mong data isang buwan lang, which is halimbawa yung February, ito yun. Kailangan times natin siya sa 12. So 84 times 12, yan na yung annual. So 100,800. This is your answer for number 2. So just to be sure kung tama yung fixed cost natin, try naman natin i-substitute sa highest activity. So your Yabix, you have your 16,000 equals A plus, you have your 380 multiplied by 20. So 16,000 equals A plus 380 times 20. You have 7,600. A is equal to, so 16,000 minus 7,600. So that's the same, 8,400. So same pa din naman. Okay? So that's your total annual fixed cost. So therefore, your cost function, kung gagawa ka ng cost function mo, you have y is equal to monthly, 8,400 plus 380 x. So this is your cost function. Okay? That's your cost formula. Okay, next. Ito na pala yung sagot natin. This is for number 3. Yan na yan. Okay. Now, using our cost formula, substitute natin, magkano daw ang total cost kung 13 yung patients na i-admit next month. So, y is equal to 8,400 plus 380 multiplied by 13 kasi yung x yung activity. So, therefore, y is equal to 8,400 plus yung product ng 380 times 13. So, plus 840. The answer is 13,340. So, that's your answer for number 4. Okay? So, this is using the high-low method. Okay? So, next. Oh, meron tayong bagong problem dito. Okay? Medyo kakaiba yung problem. Check natin. Problem number 6. The statistician of Oppenheimer Incorporated performs monthly regression analysis using the observations from 2,400 to 6,000 labor hours. So, ito yung relevant range niya, ibig sabihin. In an attempt to create a labor cost formula for the company. The result of the monthly analysis shows the following. So, ito yung lumabas na regression analysis, no? You have your intercept 32,312, your slope is 117, R squared, significance F, p-value, t-stat, standard error, y equals total labor cost. Compute for the estimated labor cost assuming the company consumed 35,000 labor hours during the year. O, during the year na yan, ha? Yan. Paano natin kukumpitin yan? Ito yung ating data. Yung intercept, that refers to your A. That is your fixed cost, your total fixed cost. Okay? Yung slope mo, that's your B. That's your variable cost per unit. Therefore, kung gagawa ka ng function, y is equal to 32,312 plus 117x. Okay? So, ito yung y is equal to a plus bx. Yan. Pwede ba natin gamitin yan? Substitute na lang natin yung 35,000 doon sa x. Hindi pa. Kailangan computein natin tong 32,312 into annually. Kasi monthly lumabas dyan eh. So therefore, multiply mo sa 12 yung 32,312. So 32,312 times 12, that's 387,744. So that's your total annual fixed cost. Plus 117x. O ito na yung pang-annual. Yan. This is your annual and this is your monthly. Basically, ginawa lang nating times 12 yung monthly. Pero hindi mo pwedeng i-times 12 itong 117 kasi constant yung per unit niya. Constant. Itong total cost, since monthly lang siya, multiply mo sa 12. So, pwede nating i-substitute yung 35,000 kasi during the year ang sinabi eh. Kung during the month, substitute mo sa monthly. Okay? So, therefore, 387,744 plus 117 multiplied by 35,000. Okay? So, 35,000 times 117, you have 4,095,000. So, that's 387,744. Y is equal to, pag-adin mo na lang yung dalawa, 37744 plus 4,095,000. The answer is 4,482,744. So that's your answer for problem number 6. Ingat lang doon sa paggamit ng cost formula kasi minsan nalilimutan natin na hindi pa pala siya annual. monthly lang pala siya. So, kailangan mo i-multiply sa 12 yung total fixed cost. Okay? So, ito kasi madali na kasi given na yung intercept tsaka yung slope. What if hindi pa given? You have to compute for it. Talagang mamanu-manuin mo siyang computing using the least square regression. Which is yun yung kasunod natin gagawin. Yan. Yung kasunod natin gagawin. Next. So you have your data here. You have your data. Meron tayong four data. Yan. 40, 30, 60, and 50 for the cost of 1,900, 1,300, and 1,150. So dahil tayo least square regression ang hinahanap, ang pinapagamit. So this is your y, x and y, 30, 60, and 50. Rewrite ko lang. 1,900, 1,300, and 1,150. So this is your 180 and 4,350. Okay? So, di ba sa least square regression na meron tayong dalawang equation. Equation 1, equation 2. The first is yung a na bex. Okay, summation of y equals n multiplied by a plus b summation of x. Yun namang isa, summation of xy, xc, then summation of xa, summation of x multiplied by a, and then bex bex. b times summation of x squared. Okay? So, meaning, kukunin natin yung xy tsaka x squared. So, mano-mano tayo. Magka-compute. 40 times 1,000. So, dyan na medyo mahaba. Unlike sa kaninang problem, given na. So, 40,000. 30 times 900. 27,000. 60 times 1,300. 78,000. 50 times 1,150. 57,500. So, the total is 202,500. Then yung x squared, tingin lang tayo sa x, 40 times 40, 16, 30 times 30, 900, 60 times 60, 36, then 50 times 50, 25. Kung paano ko madami yan, ano? May galit sa inyo si sir or si teacher. So, 16 plus 900 plus 36 plus 25. So, you have 8,600. Okay, double check ko lang. 16 plus 900 plus 36 plus 25. 86. So, that's correct. So, pwede natin i-substitute sa equation 1, which is summation of y. Ito yung summation in total. Summation of y is 4,350 equals n, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4a plus summation of x, which is 180b. Equation 2, we have summation of xy, 202,500, 202,500, equal summation of x, which is 180a, plus summation of x squared, 8,600b. So, para ma-cancel out natin yung isang variable, a or b, yung isang letter, multiply na lang natin parehas sa kanyang mga amounts. This is times 180 times 4. So, may bago tayong equation 1. 4,350 times 180. You have 783,000 equals 4 times 180. 720. That's 180 times 180. 32,400. Equation 2. 202,500 times 4. 810,000 equals 720a. Then you have 86 times 4. You have 34,400. So, pwede nating pag-minusin yung dalawa. So, magkakaroon ka ng negative dito. 783 minus 810. 27,000 equals cancel na to. Yung a natin makakancel. So, matitira na ngayon negative 32,400 minus 34,400 2,000 B. Therefore, B is equal to 27,000 divide 2,000, parehas naman silang negative, so magiging positive 13.5 per unit. So this is your variable cost per unit. Okay? Ayan. So therefore, pwede natin computein yung fixed cost natin. Pili lang tayo sa dalawa. Ayan. Equation 1 or equation 2 is up to you. So gamitin ko yung equation 1. Okay? You have 4,350 equals 4A plus 180 multiplied by 30.5. So 4,350 equals 4A plus, so 180 times 13.5 to 430. Okay? So therefore, lagay natin sa kabilang side. 4,350 minus 430. You have 1,920. Okay, equals 4A. So over 4 divided by 4. You have 480. This is your A. So this is your answer, 480. So your cost formula will now be like y is equal to 480 pesos plus 13.5x. So this is your cost formula using the least square regression. Okay, pag ginamit natin yung high-low method dito, check natin. You have 60 and you have your 30. So try lang ha, try lang. So 1,3 minus 900 divided by 60 minus 40. Tingnan natin kung anong lalabas. So 1,3 minus 900, 1,3 minus 900, that's 400. Divide 60 minus 40 is 20. So lalabas na variable cost per unit mo, 40 divide 20 is 20. So malaki yung discrepancy nila, no? 7 piso. Okay? So tapos kukunin mo pa yung fixed cost gamit yung lowest, for example. So you have 900 equals A plus 20 times 40. So 20 times 40, you have 1,800. Lalabas dyan, ang A mo ay 100. So medyo malaki yung pagkakaiba nila, no? Yan. Medyo between the two, mas accurate naman talaga least square regression. Okay. So, I think this is the last problem that I have. At least nakita natin yung least square regression. Actually, may isa pa ako. Pero medyo mahaba siya. Ganang kadami. Yung kaninang high-low method natin. Okay? Pero ang ginamit lang is least square regression. Kayo nang gumawa niya na practice niya yan. Again, ang gagawin lang natin dito, applicable din sa sa least square regression. Yung outlier, hindi mo to papansinin. So pag magli-least square regression ka, this is your x, this is your y. Sagawa ka ulit ng x mo at saka y. Tapos yung xy, tapos yung x squared. Kunin mo yung total nila, yung summation ng bawat isa. Medyo madami kasi. Kayo na bahala dyan na. Naniniwala akong kaya ninyo yan. Gamitin sa Excel. Okay, kaya hindi, mano-mano dapat. Yung December, we will not include that. We will ignore that dahil siya ay outlier. It's not within the relevant range. So, makaka-apekto siya sa computations natin. Okay? So, tatanggalin siya. Katulad din siya ng high-low method. Okay? Sige. So, yun lang. Medyo mahaba na rin naman yung ating mga nasagutan. Marami tayong sagutan. Medyo mahaba na yung video natin. So, good luck ulit. Solve lang ng solve. At hanggat ma-master natin yung concept at habang ina-apply natin siya. So, ingat kayo palagi at continue working hard, working smart with your schedule. Lagi isingit na at least once a day makapagsagot kayo ng problem. Okay? So, good luck. Ingat kayo palagi and bye-bye.